John, welcome back to London Real.
Thank you. Thank you for the lovely introduction.
It's really special having you here. I think it's the third time that we're here in person together over the past, coming up on 6 years. And it's really special because for me, you're not just another guest. You're a guy that has changed my life, and your methods continue to change my life. And I was telling you, I spent the entire month of August in Barcelona, and it should have been renamed Demartiniville because I was listening to your YouTube videos as I walked through that city for hours every day. And I think that even though the world knows how amazing you are, I still think with all that fame, you're still underrated, because I think you're one of the top people when it comes to showing people how a change in mindset can change their entire reality. And I don't know what it is, but when you're talking, I'm always like, wow, 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 wow. And these are things I didn't understand 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And so I can't wait to dive in, because I think your tools are so useful to anybody on the planet. Your story is also incredible. For a guy like you, so articulate and so accomplished, to know that you were told you would never be able to read, and you weren't even reading and doing anything till your teenage years, no formal education. We'll get into that. But I want to start with something that I think most people struggle to get their head around, and something that took me years to get my head around, John. And when I first started London Real, a guest said to me, you know what, Brian, when you hate somebody, there's a little bit of you in them, and that's why you're obsessed with them. And I thought, that's ridiculous. I'm nothing like them. And I meditated on it for years, and I still could never, ever come to the conclusion. But maybe deep down inside of me, part of me knew that something was right about that. And this is something you talk a lot about, whether you're in deep love or deep hate with people, that there's something there that's inside of you, and you can't kind of go to the next level and transform until you, I think, try to understand it. And right now, Dr. John, I see so much hate in the world. I see America divided. I see people getting shot. I see people getting angry. And I think to myself, man, maybe this is a great time for them to learn some of your techniques. And so for someone out there right now that hates someone or loves someone, and this could be a certain political figure maybe that you know very well, that you might have lived one time in his tower, but that's like a perfect example of an archetype where people have these strong emotions. How do you start to have the conversation with people and say those extreme feelings are actually holding you back from your own transformation? How do you have that conversation with people?
Well, sometimes I don't try to offer a service until I establish a need. Because if somebody's not asking, imposing and projecting onto it, you're trying to do something to impact them because they're reminding you of something you're trying to impact in yourself.
Okay, right.
So I don't find that very productive.
That's interesting. So when you're trying to fix someone,
yeah,
it's really your issue. Okay, you're projecting your stuff.
It was a New Testament presentation, Romans 2:1, that said, beware of judging others, for what you judge in others, you do the same thing. And I was fascinated by that about 41 years ago. So instead of waiting for somebody to push my button to discover that, I decided to go to the Oxford English Dictionary and to go through the entire dictionary and underline every potential trait that I could judge in somebody. Kind, cruel, nice, mean, etc.
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, but also for the generations to come after?
I am absolutely amazed with the quality of companies that we're getting exposure to.
We go on to Zoom calls with the innovators and the folks who are building new applications in metaverse, blockchain, artificial intelligence, decentralized finance.
What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me.
We are focusing on early stage investment.
And the quality of people that we're getting exposure to, whether it be Dan Tapiero with 1RT, Jason Ma from Open, Yatsu from Animoca.
It's been a phenomenal experience thus far. It has far exceeded my expectations.
We are focusing on cutting edge technologies.
I view it now as the best investment I've ever made. The upside I view is unlimited.
And as a retail investor, I would never get this exposure anywhere else outside of Investment Club.
See you in the Investment Club.
And then what I did is I wrote out to the side, I underlined the particular trait. I found 4,628 traits. Gordon Alpert, 35 or 36 years earlier, found 4,000 in that same text.
Okay.
But I found 4,628. And I underlined the word that described the trait. And then I went out to the side and abbreviated really small the names of who I believed were the most exemplary of that trait. So if I saw, resentful, or I saw vindictive, or aggressively screaming, or whatever the trait might be, I would write out, who do I know that represents that to the fullest degree? And I put their name. And then I would go inside my life and find out where and when I've displayed or demonstrated the same specific trait, action or inaction, until I could identify where I did it quantitatively and qualitatively 100% to the degree that I projected. When I did that, I went through 4,628 traits. It took a couple of years to do.
You had already read the dictionary cover to cover when you were younger.
Well, I didn't. That dictionary I had not read cover to cover, but by going through this, I did.
Okay, right.
As I went through it. But I found out that I had every trait.
Wow.
And this is going to be probably shocking for somebody. Our fulfillment level is to the degree that we embrace all those traits. The hero, the villain, the saint, the sinner, the positive, the negative, the kind, the cruel, etc. But what we do is we tend to disown. We're too proud or too humble to admit what we see in others inside us. And we're only too proud as a dissociation from the shame we have that we're judging ourselves for that trait, and they're reminding us that's why we want to avoid them, because they're reminding us of a part of us that we haven't loved in ourselves and incorporated. We've been disowning it. We've been deflecting it, dismembering it. And so that's a disowned part of ourself that these people are bringing into our awareness. And we're judging and avoiding these people or seeking people because we can be too humble to admit what we see in them. Right. And as a result of it, they're giving us an opportunity to include the part of us that we've disowned. And our fulfillment in life is to the degree that we own it all. Our unfulfillment are all the voids. That's why whenever we judge somebody above or below us, put them on pedestals or pits, we feel empty. But the second we embrace and reflect and look within and discover it, we thank them for revealing to us the parts we've been disowning. And when we have all of it and we embrace the hero and the villain, people may not like Donald, but he owns his hero and villain. He's got people supporting and challenging him. He doesn't respond and he doesn't react. He just keeps going. And so that is a strength, actually. But we go around and we are addicted to moral hypocrisies, that we're trying to get rid of half of ourselves and try to be only one side. And this one-sidedness, the pursuit of one-sidedness is futile. It's an empty pursuit because you're not going to get rid of half of yourself. I ask people by the thousands, how many of you have been trying to get rid of a particular trait in your life, negativity, resentful, or whatever, and you still got it? And they all put their hands up and then they go, I never thought about that. I've been on this self-improvement journey to get rid of half of me and only be one-sided because of a moral hypocrisy that I've been indoctrinated from mothers, fathers, preachers, teachers, conventions, traditions, mores, or whatever the source is, religions, politics. And I'm now trying to be something that's non-obtainable and trying to avoid that which is unavoidable, which is a source of human suffering and non-sustainable futility.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.